What's your pleasure, sir?
All right, well, welcome to a new episode of the Cinephiles and Cenobites podcast. My name is Onofre, and with me, my hetero life mate, and the other half of the show, Mox.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
It's not too much.
So today we're going to be reviewing the indie horror thriller,
The Young Cannibals, yes.
The Young Cannibals, yes. Written and directed by Chris Carr and Sam Fowler.
You know, when I hear the title, does She Drives Me Crazy, does that pop up in your head a little bit?
You mean like Clarissa Explains It All?
No, not the movie. No, from the Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh.
That band's called the Young Cannibals?
The Fine Young Cannibals.
The Fine Young Cannibals. Oh.
Yeah, so clearly this film was not marketed to people in, I guess, my age group who remember the band Fine Young Cannibals, because already it made the movie kind of silly.
Oh. Drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I can't help myself.
myself.
Oh. You think there's any references to that?
No, because I do not think this was a name picked by the filmmakers. It feels like it was slapped on by the distributor.
Because, I hear, well, after watching the movie and the title, there's no real connection. Like when I heard I heard the Young Cannibals, I thought maybe it's like an exclusive club, like the Breakfast Club.
I remember you mentioning that. That's not the connotation I got. I feel there's a tie-in to the name. It's not strong or resonant for me, but I mean that's literally what they are. They were forced to eat human flesh, so they are technically young cannibals.
Yes, right. But kind of a brief synopsis of the movie. So a group of friends kind of break out their other friend who's in the hospital
Psych ward, yeah.
To take her out for a camping trip to celebrate her birthday. And they're tricked into eating human flesh, therefore summoning a monster who they have to escape after a 3-day period. Not just one night. It's 3 days. It was 2 nights, 3 days.
Yep. Strange choice, but yes.
Yeah. So that's basically it. Yeah. Yeah. It's a borderline creature feature.
That's a skin. Yeah, that's a skin and bones synopsis of it. I feel like there's a little. They tried to do a little more. I mean, there is an emotional undercurrent that they tried to inject. There is some nice irony that you pointed out. There is an attempt to put forth, a real character arc and struggle that has, that plays to a theme that I think they tried to elevate the material. So that's what I have to say on its behalf before ripping the ultimate experience to shreds.
Yeah, it's fun though. This was a fun movie to watch.
It was. I don't want to reference too much another movie while we talk about this movie, but we watched another movie where it was just too long, and even making fun of it got old after a while, and kind of we were pissed off, just wanting to end. This one was fun. Making fun of some stuff was fun, and they made the movie decently short.
Yeah. Like it probably ran like there's a lot of things you could have taken out. For sure. I think they could have trimmed it down to the 80-minute minimum to be a feature. But and not for timing, but just it was some parts were awkward.
They were very.
So like probably one of the main parts that kind of stood out the most and kind of painfully so. Or it was just a bit awkward. So, like I said, it happens over a 3-day period. And so there's a transition from night to day just all of a sudden. And like it felt like unnecessarily so.
Hmm. Also, the context is they had just escaped a kidnapping of the guy who had tricked them into eating the human flesh and then held them at gunpoint, tied them up, drove them out into the forest. So they just escaped, got separated from one friend, and they're looking for him. Of course, that friend already was brutally murdered by the beast, but they don't know that. And it just cuts weirdly from night into day. And then we see the group, and it does not feel at all like they've been out all night fucking panicked looking for their friend,
Yeah.
you know, trying to escape any place. They're just taking a hike, cruise. And then all of a sudden they break out into a fight. One character suddenly becomes the heel and he's like instigating shit with another character.
Yeah, that's the tension among the group. That was
Yeah, and they don't look tired, haggard, or panicked. Their clothes look fresh, and so there's just no real cues that they've been out there all night, other than that weird cut from the darkness to now broad daylight.
Yeah. So it's like, unless it's we try to kind of justify the reasoning, like, oh, maybe that's just how it is on that side of the world. Like, that's what a morning looks like. Early morning looks like the middle of the day. I don't.
But still, they would have been out there for hours, panicked.
Yeah.
That part didn't come across. So I don't. It felt like I would have liked it if they just cut that out. I would have liked it if they kept it all in one night. That would
just
made
one
more
night.
sense.
Yeah. I feel like if I escape the kidnapper,
right,
I'm gonna be like, guys, let's run to the next town.
Let's get somewhere, not fucking Sunday walk around a fucking forest stroll.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta get the fuck out. This dude is crazy. He made us eat humans, and he held us at gunpoint, and he tied us up. I'm sorry, homie is lost, but look, we've been looking all night, supposedly. Let's fucking get some help. We don't know what we're doing. Also, they never enact any kind of plan, even a shitty plan. They never be like, okay, I think this is where we are. I think this is where we're going. Let's try and head in this direction for some reason. One guy brings up something and then they start arguing, but he doesn't have any kind of specifics. He's just like, okay, we need to just keep walking. And the other guy's like, you're in charge now? Who made you in charge? Well, you don't have to come this way if you don't want.
Right. I'm going to go that way because he ran that way. And that's what we need to get back to the van. No, not.
Right. That's the exact. Yeah. It's like, okay. I mean, I guess that's a plan, but how do you know which way the van was? Because, like, fucking, we have no idea. We just saw you take 3 steps at night, right. And now you're in day.
Oh, yeah. So that was the probably the thing that stood out the most. And then it was just like, now it's the second night. Now this is the main night.
They cut to the day, right, to have that little argument, and now they're lost. And then it just cuts straight back to night. So it's like, what the fuck? Why did we need 2 minutes of day?
Right. So let's say
now we're back at night again.
Let's say the sun came out at 8:00 and it goes down, or like it's one of those places where it gets dark early. It's like 5 o'clock, right? So that's what is that? 9 hours. 9 hours of daylight, like. And you guys were walking the whole time? Like, no one's hurt yet, right? No one's hurt.
No, not in this group.
Except that one woman who's got I don't know if she was wearing heels or not. But
she was, yeah. Well, she's not hurt. She's just struggling to walk because she decided to wear platforms in a forest.
I know, right?
On a camping trip, which I guess is supposed to, speak loudly to her character, but it just seems like, okay.
Right.
Why would you wear that ever? I mean,
and then now,
like, I know people who are full blown, right? Like girly girl, but yet if they agree to a camping trip, there's no way they'd be stupid enough to wear their fucking regular hot shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
unless she was planning like, oh, we're going to go back to my house. We're going to go back to
I know she was saying that, but I mean, that's a hard sell. And, what if it didn't go that way, like how it didn't? Now she's stuck in platforms. She didn't even bring a backup.
Nope.
I don't know. Whatever. So anyway, yeah, she's the closest to injured at this point. She's taking a seat, took her shoes off because, I mean, I imagine that's just horrible walking around in that
and
for hours and hours.
So supposedly. We get the second person who gets kidnapped by the monster, the creature, after she fell off like a little
Oh
Not
yeah, she was my favorite, and she's like what, second to go.
yeah, and like she was like grabbed immediately and very in like stealthy fashion. Like
Yeah, like disappeared without a sound and a trace, but they left behind her god chain
yeah,
that she decides to pray to um,
and so we're thinking
when the monster shows up.
like okay, so what are the rules now? This monster, right? You're like, okay, you got to set it up. There's what's the pattern? Okay, he's been picking off people who are hurt. All right, okay, maybe he's only picking
Hmm.
up the wounded, right? And then they come across that other camper who was basically just fill like he served no
He feels
purpose.
like that red herring character that a lot of stories put in, um, because you think this guy is the bad guy. Nope. Oh, he's actually the good guy, sort of. He's some sort of ally at the end, we find out. And that's kind of what he turned out to be, although he's useless.
He
He
didn't
just,
do nothing. Like he said, grab the bag, just
well,
get the
if he
bag.
served one purpose, it was to drive home the fact that if you didn't eat the human flesh, you cannot see the beast.
Oh, okay, he set that part up. Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that even if you can't see the beast, you can still get touched by it.
Oh, oh, sure, right.
But I mean, that's kind of like, a, I guess he's if that is there another way they could have done without incorporating that creepy dude who's nothing
He did nothing. He didn't
but
like come
to
back
yeah.
later, like to help out or whatever. No. And then the one guy we thought
And
was
then
the
the
main
black dude
guy,
gets killed.
yeah, like he's the one that broke her out.
Yeah.
He broke out Final Girl, and
Right.
this is how you treat him. Oh,
Right. I guess this movie. Well, I guess maybe it's not stereotypes because the black guy wasn't the first to die, but I mean, he's maybe what, the third? No, he is the second because come to find out, Glass's religious girl wasn't fully dead yet.
no, second, no, third guy if we count the beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, right. And
But
then
yeah, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about it. Kill the black guy whenever you want. It just it just felt funny.
and I
Black
feel
guys can
like
get killed
he was
like
like
anybody in
the
a horror movie.
strongest in the group too. Like
He was the most. Yeah, he like if I was to get trapped in a forest chased by a cannibal beast, I would want to be with that dude more than the other dudes.
yeah,
I mean, come to find out, that other dude had the little bit of a heroic streak in him too. But yeah, the black guy seemed to be the most competent, the most compassionate.
the brother tried to redeem himself by
Yeah.
helping out, and then the sister had to take him out. Oof, that
Yeah.
I was like, oh okay, don't. Damn, no, she can barely carry the rock. That was she was gonna use. I was
Yeah.
like, no. I'll just let the creature take me out. I think it's gonna hurt more if you do it. You know?
That is true because the the slam that they showed, she did not put much mustard behind it, so that would not have killed him even with that heavy ass rock. Like she would have had to slam him a couple of times. I would have rather just bleed out or let the monster fucking eat my throat. But also, that's another thing with the monster. Like I don't know, it just seems sporadic. Like okay, so Glass's religious girl, it eats her halfway and bothers to drag her back to its lair.
Yeah.
And
Well,
but the brother, it eats him halfway and just like leaves him where it stands. Like, and then also it has you cornered, but then it'll like disappear and then watch you like a pervert from the sides. When it
well,
had the perfect opportunity to kill you already. He's just
they
weird.
the other rules, right? You can muck yourself up in blood and try to act dead, and like you know. So now this is
Well,
Jurassic Park rules.
that was her hypothesis,
Okay.
but I don't know if it ever got proved. Did it get proved? Like, did the thing not see her because it assumed she was already dead?
Right. Well,
Did it? I mean, I can't remember. I know she's like, if it thinks you're dead, it won't attack you.
right. Because it came up to
And
her,
then she
right?
gets mucked up.
And then she didn't move, so he just kept moving
It
on.
just kind of left her. Oh, okay.
But I'm wondering, like, if she was dead, like he didn't bother eating her, or like are they like,
Right. Yeah, he not still hungry-ish or whatever.
right,
But
or like oh, they got to be alive when I eat them. That's how I.
well, that's
do
what that one the religious glasses girl said. It eats you alive. But I mean, of course it eats you alive. Most animals do. They don't like kill you first, unless you're like a snake or a crocodile or whatever. They like to drown you or crush you, then they eat you. But like a shark will
Oh,
just eat
I
you
see.
alive. Fucking spider will eat you alive.
But in this movie, we do have a final girl, and
Well, it wouldn't be a creature slasher movie without a final girl.
right, and but like we kind of pointed out, like, was there enough of her character to be presented to like for us to care about when it got to that point as final girl?
No, no, there wasn't. But there was an attempt. But she never kind of got over for me. Um, I just thought she was whiny and emotional and suicidal the whole way through. I never was able to empathize with her.
And then we have Exposition Man, who was
Oh God, the bad guy is exposition man as fuck. If you like villains who give you cartoony plot motivations, this is the dude for you. Well, this is what happened to me, and this is why I'm doing it to you.
right,
But luckily, 50 years ago, when I first came to this country, like, oh my God, 3 minutes later, and that's why I have to do this, but you can join me.
I want to point out that our most favorite thing about the movie was probably the music.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Gabe Castro.
Yeah,
And
great music.
it was very slasher, 80s slasher ish.
Yeah. And, it has that retro feeling, too, of a lot of these movies that are using that kind of synth 80s feel. It felt out of place, though, in this. It felt more like something that would be underscoring, say, like Stranger Things, but it was dope. Props to the cinematography department, too. Very nice shots. The only thing is that it just felt out of place. Like the lighting felt too stylish.
Like this is a very bright forest. Like
yeah,
it's
for it didn't.
I mean,
it didn't mesh well.
Like
it pointed itself out.
It pointed itself out, and it felt like a national park. Like, oh, it's got to be a park or something. There's like streetlights. That's why we can see everything. And like just the surrounding area. Like it didn't feel like an abandoned, I don't know, castle.
No, it was way too
the ruins,
well lit.
Like
yeah, and the ruins were nice and cinematic, but it just felt like they came out of nowhere, and somebody made the choice that would just be an interesting location to film at, which it was. It made itself known. You know what I mean? It stuck out so.
Like all they have to say was like, "Oh, this used to be this place." Just a little introduction to this geographic location, like
a little context. But I mean, maybe that's a cultural thing too. I guess wherever the fuck in Europe, in England they are, that's just a thing. You go walking in a forest and oh look, interesting fallen ruins.
Yeah.
The other thing too that was really irking, not that the shots weren't nice, but the overuse of Dutch angles. Oh my God, it's like from Battlefield Earth. Almost every shot a fucking Dutch angle.
Oh.
I mean, I love Battlefield Earth. I do, and it's not even a guilty pleasure. I just like love that movie. I don't know why. Maybe just I love.
I don't know why, but
I love John Travolta's Shakespearean alien motif. But
they read the books of Earth, and they started off with Shakespeare. Like, huh? Okay, I want to get culture me up, Earth. But yeah, we did get a lot of Dutch angles. We also got a lot of I want to say worm eye view, like from the bottom looking up.
Oh yeah, and even those were kind of Dutch too. Like, they're nice shots. Not they were nice compositions. It just felt overused. I don't know what the direction to the editor was. Just like, yeah, man, jam as many of those in as you can. Also, linger really long on the shot. Let the audience like fucking soak up that atmosphere. Hold it.
Oh yeah, a lot of lingering shots. Like,
and then abrupt cuts. We thought the cut transitions was pretty horrible and jarring. In fact, we spotted only one really nice transition, and that was in the first ruins where they are ambushed by the monster. There was a really nice transition in there, but it's so nice that it sticks out that we remember it. Everything else was it made itself known by being kind of jarring or like, what the fuck? Why would you?
Like
Why
there were a
would that
couple
be
like
the cut?
upside down shots. Like I don't know, it just looks cool, but like there's no kind of like pattern as to why.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
I don't know why. It just looks cool. I guess that's good enough.
it's a cool looking film. I mean, it's a nice looking film. Um, I don't know that it was developed or put together cohesively. You know, it feels very kind of Frankenstein,
Ah,
and the resulting monster, is just not all that satisfying. Not the creature in the movie. The creature in the movie was not bad. You know, depending on how it's lit and shot, it does come across really well.
yeah.
Although at some scenes, it's clearly a dude in a suit.
Yeah. I mean, but I say practically like the practicality of the movie
I'm glad it wasn't a
good.
CG monster. Didn't get the fuck out. This definitely was not a sci-fi movie. Remember how sci-fi used to make Dagon? It's
Oh, you
definitely
mean
not one
like
of those
SYFY
or
sci-fi?
late, yeah. Or even back when there was SCIFI, you know, they used to do Lake Placid 37. This movie is far above that quality. Like, this is a real movie.
Yeah.
People cared about it. It feels like there was a lot of passion. Just
But like everyone, like there's more than one person calling the shots.
yeah, or yeah, they just I don't know. There wasn't a
I'm not calling the shots,
story.
but like there's a lot of collaborators. Let's do it this way. Let's like
Maybe a
just
lot
because
of
you know
cooks in the kitchen.
but it's a fun creature feature to check out.
Well, you ended up buying it, so
I did, yes. Well, you heard it here. The Young Cannibals. All right, well, that is it for this episode. Thank you for checking it out. Be sure to check out this episode's show notes for links to all our social media sites. But other than that, be sure to visit our website, nekkomedia.com. That's Nekko media.com. And we also be on Twitter and Instagram. Very active on both of those. And you can check those out at cynical_mass. That's CINECAL_MASS. And feel free to get in touch through email, cinephiles and cenobites@gmail.com. Any movie recommendations, we'd love to check it out. Any screeners, we'd love to review. Any potential guests? Yeah, we love having guests on the show too.
Yeah, if you're a filmmaker, fucking hit us a line and we'll get you on the show. Ask you your top 6 movies and what it's like to be an artist like you.
Oh, yes. And any fellow cinephiles and cenobites. You are welcome.
Yes.
Any place that they can hit you up, Marks?
At villainous_kind. Instagram and fucking Twitter. But don't bother. I rarely check it except when I'm drunk. So
okay.
I'd either send it to Ono or the show.
Yeah, you can check me out on Twitter at thisisono. That's this is OHNO. Same goes for Instagram.
Oh
no. Yup. All right. Well, thank you again. Take it away, Annika.
This has been a Nekko Media podcast broadcasting from the Blood Cave, part of the /Potter family. For myself, Annika Pussyfoot, Mox, and Ono, keep the lights on and check under that bed because there's only one universal truth. No lives matter. That means you. Stay rating, Wokeland.
We have candy.
Probably both, it's really
podcast. In your face, in your dreams. Shit podcast.
This is a Nekko Media podcast.